Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Evers, and welcome to This Week in Anderson on the Big Eye Sports Podcast. And as always, I'm joined with my co-host, Steve Ellis. And Steve, very excited to have our next guest. Was a point guard at McNick, yes. And we got to see him play firsthand. And
really good point guard.
Yeah, and then also was a coach, and just overall a great guy. So I'm excited to catch up with Pat.
Well, Pat's a great guy. He was a legendary player and a coach as alma mater. Not too many people can say that, but also, you're looking at two left-handed point guards here.
Oh boy,
you know what I mean?
Had to go, but from what I remember,
way better.
Yeah, I was gonna say
way better.
Shoot though, and one couldn't.
I couldn't shoot.
Well, I couldn't shoot. He couldn't either. He couldn't either. So
I had strict instructions to not shoot.
That's good.
Oh, that's funny. So I said, joining us is Pat Stricker. Pat, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
So let's. We always kind of do this in the beginning. So kind of start. We obviously know a lot of the guys from the Anderson side and all that. But did you grow up in Anderson, or how did you talk about how you got to McNick?
Yeah, absolutely. Grew up on Castleberry Court in Summit Estates. So it's,
there we go.
It's the other side of Summit. We always call
that's fine.
The school side. It's the other side.
It's still Summit.
Still Summit.
Exactly.
I didn't play it.
Pat, that's like 18 guests in a row that's been Summit Estates.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's a good side, Steve. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead. Keep going.
So down the street from Mike Benassi.
Yeah.
Mike and Tom.
Yeah.
Off Yellow Glen.
Trey Rouse. You guys know Trey?
Sure.
Yep. Trey was on our street.
Burdicks were right down the street.
Burdicks right down the street.
Yep.
Gordy Massa, Tim McLaughlin, Steve Bolger.
Yeah.
All in the same neighborhood. Kurt Kiesling's right across Clough Pike.
Didn't the Harmons live over there? Dana Harmon?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the Tilfords lived around.
Tilfords. Sam and Mike were right next door to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And didn't the Brennemans live right by there? In that
they were
area?
in Linderwood. They were on the other side.
Well, no. They lived on Sigma Circle.
Oh, then they moved.
You come off Northport onto Sigma, and Sigma goes right into Castleberry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's where you grew up?
Grew up, from from the time I was born until moved out about sophomore year in college.
Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is there anybody still living in the house?
No. That I know, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Because my parents moved on and they passed away, but my brother took over the house. So it's just kind of weird to think about going past the house and it's not your house that you were at for.
Every once in a while you drive by. For some reason, that was my room right there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry. So growing up in Summit Estates, before you got into, I guess, like elementary or junior high, what sports did you play?
Started off real young playing soccer. Played that until probably the 6th grade. I started playing football in 6th grade.
Okay.
Yeah, and then played basketball. Who'd
you play football for?
So Forest Hills at the time had their program still going.
Okay.
And they had an A team and a B team.
Yeah.
Well, anybody new always got on the B team.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
The good team was the A team.
Okay.
They kept the same team for pretty much the whole time.
Okay.
So Tyler Burdick. Let's see. Mr. Burdick was the coach.
Okay.
Who else? Joe Schneider. Joe had just moved here.
Okay.
So Joe was on the team.
Yep.
I'm trying to think who else was on the team. We won one game. We were terrible.
Really?
Yes, just brutal. Got crushed by the A team.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
I played 1 year football, but it was Mount Washington.
Is that okay? I guess it was.
Well, they had two different ones, didn't they, or was it just always Mount Washington?
I don't know. I just remember Mount Washington.
I can't remember. I thought it was called Forest Hills.
You know what?
But now
you know what? You're right. I think it might be. I think you guys are right. I think it was at the time. It was just Mount Washington. I don't think they had Forest Hills.
Okay.
Until later.
Okay.
And then I think then they merged to one or something. I don't know. But I think you guys are right.
Okay. All right.
So I played there for 1 year, and then IHM had a 7th and 8th grade team.
Okay.
Started playing there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you said you played soccer. What else did you play?
I played baseball growing up. Yeah.
You played baseball?
Yeah, all of us played together.
Okay. So what teams were you on?
So Mr. McDonald, Jack McDonald.
Oh,
Jack
Mark's
McDonald.
Yeah.
Jack's dad always. He was always a controller or a finance guy for some car dealership.
Okay.
So we played for R.J. Olds, Camargo Cadillac.
There you go.
We were Knuckles 1 year.
Okay.
It was,
Yeah.
We were all over the map.
Funny.
Yeah.
Playing up at Nagle Park and
Yeah, absolutely. The Firehouse.
Mark McDonald.
Firehouse. Oh,
Yeah.
love those
fields were awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Love those
When you
fields.
played at Firehouse, you knew it was big time,
Yeah, because they had that front field that was that huge infield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you went to IHM before you went to McNick, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So what did you play at IHM?
So yeah, would have played basketball and football there. Jim Bolger was our head coach in football. Jim was a great football coach.
Yep.
Yeah. Steve's dad, and then my dad coached us in basketball.
Okay.
I mean, it was me and Kurt, Gordy Massa, Tim McLaughlin, Mark McDonald.
Wow.
Yes.
Who else?
That's crazy.
Bill Clary, if you remember that name.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Bill was a really good soccer player in high school.
Wow.
And then all of us played football.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We won a city championship in 8th grade year.
Is that right?
Well, Bolger always, every year, like you guys would go on, but he'd still have. Didn't he stay down and just coached all the time, right? And he had great teams.
He coached at IHM for probably
Forever.
20, 25 years.
No
something
kidding.
like that.
Wow.
And then he actually did coach the freshmen at McNick for 1 or 2 years.
Did he?
Okay.
After we got out.
You know what's funny is the
That's
story
impressive.
I remember about Mr. Bolger is he sold insurance, and every time he'd want to meet with me, he goes, "Come on, let's meet at Frisch's." Always at Frisch's.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you're at. He goes, "Let's meet at Frisch's."
That's his office.
He was always selling.
Always at Frisch's.
Really good football coach.
Yeah. All right. So before we get into other sports at McNick, did you get into high school there? Obviously, we want to talk about basketball and playing for Coach Durger and everything. So let's talk about, did you play in the freshman team, or did you get moved up right away, or how did that work?
Lord, no. I was tiny.
You were tiny.
Yeah. Plus, we were awful damn good. I mean, we were 17-0 as freshmen.
Wow.
Without the best player. Ramey played up.
Okay.
So we ended up being 17-0 as
Jeez,
freshmen.
Pete.
Wow.
Legit, I was easily 9th man freshman team.
Really? Who's your coach?
Jay Rich.
Jay Rich.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. All right. Then you moved on to JV.
Yeah, and then we were good as sophomores. Probably, I don't know, 12-8, something like that. But keep in mind we're in Moeller, Elder, X,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
LaSalle, whatever. Yeah.
So what other sports did you play at McNick?
I played football.
Football.
Yeah.
So you didn't play baseball?
Did not play baseball.
Okay.
After football and basketball, I was
Beat
a little
up.
worn down. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
I seriously, I think my senior year or my junior year, probably starting defensive back, I think I weighed 140 pounds.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And you played for Coach Markley?
Coach, George, great football coach.
Yeah.
Unique man, but a great football coach.
Yeah. But, I mean, and Danny, help me with this when we interviewed Kurt. I mean, you guys were really good your junior and senior year for both basketball and football.
Yeah.
So, junior year we got beat in the state semis to Akron, St. Vincent, St. Mary.
Which sport?
Basketball.
Okay.
Yeah. State semis, we had 0 chance to win that game.
Really?
Oh, 0 chance.
Is that right?
Yeah.
They were.
Jerome Lane.
Oh, wow.
Remember Jerome?
Oh, yeah.
Went to Pitt, right?
Went to Pitt. That was Sean Miller passed Jerome the ball.
Oh.
When Jerome sent it down and broke the first backboard.
Yes.
Sean passed it to him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we played him. Who else? They had a big guy, Frank Stams, played defensive end for the Irish when they won the national title in '89 in football.
Yeah.
Really?
He was their starting defensive end, played for the Browns, the Rams.
Holy cow.
We had 0 chance. We wouldn't win 99 times out of 100 at least.
Yeah,
really?
At least, if not 100.
That's a bummer.
Wow.
We were down like 25 to, I don't know, 16, something like that at halftime, and literally had 0 chance to win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were in the record books for a long time for scoring the least amount of points.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Well, just a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know?
yeah. Jerome Lane jumped center to start the game, played point guard, very first play of the game, alley-oop to him, threw it down.
That's it.
We kind of looked at each other and we're like, oh boy. Strap them up for a long night.
Here we go. Yeah.
So,
but you had great years, though.
Yeah. Football year, junior year, we were okay. We ended up probably about 500.
Okay.
The good part about it was we had like 3 seniors on the team.
Yeah, you had a lot coming back that year, senior year.
Every one of us as juniors played.
Okay.
And played a ton.
Yep.
And then, we got beat in the state finals my senior year.
Wow.
Yeah.
How awesome is that?
With our backup quarterback.
Yeah,
That's
I remember
right.
that. It was Oates.
Yeah.
What Oates was the quarterback.
Oates,
McDonald got hurt, right?
Yeah. Mark got
gosh.
hurt. Homecoming game, probably halfway through the season, broke his hand.
And then Oates came in.
And then Oaksy came in.
No
yeah.
kidding.
So we ended up this regular season probably 9-1. We lost the game after Mac broke his hand.
Yeah.
Coaches got very conservative. We went like double tight. All we did was run the ball.
Okay.
Played up at Chaminade. They had a nice team that year.
Yeah.
We were a little heartbroken.
Dang. Yeah.
Got beat that game and then went all the way to the state finals.
God, that's
wow.
awesome.
How about that?
It's a great year. It's a great high school career right there.
So cool playing in the horseshoe.
Oh my gosh.
So
can't even imagine.
Can't even imagine.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's like what Danny said, a great career in both sports. And to be able to play in those atmospheres is just unbelievable. I mean, that's got to be so cool.
So I said, going and playing in the horseshoe was so cool. Just that, the size of the venue was so awesome.
Yeah.
Walking out on the basketball floor at St. John's Arena.
Yeah.
Gives you goosebumps.
Oh,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
If either one of you guys ever been there.
Oh, yeah. I went to many games there.
12,000 people. It's pretty much straight
right
up.
on top of it.
They are right on top of you.
Yeah.
You walk out of the locker room and you're like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so-
it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I think I would have crapped my pants. I would have.
So let's go back to basketball and talk about Coach Durger. And, obviously you knew of him before you got there and what your thoughts was, leading up to playing for him. And then, what ended up, coaching for him and on from there.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know or not, but my dad taught at McNick for 25 years.
Yep.
So he and Jerry became guidance counselors together.
Okay.
So they were in the same office. So I knew Jerry ever since I was 4 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally knew what I was getting into. Yeah. And you grow up going to those games and
Oh my gosh.
the atmosphere of Anderson McNick games, Anderson Turpin,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Just spectacular. So you thrived on that.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I thrived on competition and I wouldn't function well if my coach wasn't on my ass.
Right. Sure.
So I would give it back to Jerry just as much as he'd give it to me. One of the few people that got away with it.
Right. Yeah.
So that it was, just an unbelievable experience to play for the man. Other than my dad, Jerry's by far, one of the men who I truly, truly respect in this world.
Yeah. I mean, a living legend is.
Yeah, but take basketball out of the picture. 95% of what he did for that school went unnoticed.
Yeah.
The things he did for singing happy birthday to every kid in the lunchroom.
I've heard all about it. Yeah.
Helping kids out, that were going the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Things like that. He still, out of his own pocket, still funds a scholarship named after a teammate of mine, Jeff Smith.
No kidding.
Wow.
Jeff Smith Award. Yeah.
Sure.
He funds it out of his own pocket every year down to a deserving rising, senior at McNick. Both a boy and a girl.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Well, and I tell you what, it's so cool that they finally named the court after him. That was pretty cool.
Well, in the amount
well
of
overdue.
Old players that come back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have a thing every October. We've been doing it now for probably a good dozen years now. Every October we have a little reunion up at his house.
Oh, no kidding.
Guys from the 70s, 80s, 90s. We get about 40, 45 guys.
That's so
Really?
cool.
Yeah.
What does that say?
Yeah. Matter of fact, the St. Clement Chippies, the very first team he coached, like in 1957, there's still guys that come back.
No way.
I'm not shitting you.
Oh my God! No way!
Yes.
That's so cool.
That is cool.
There's like 4 or 5 guys from that team that still come back.
Does he still have the court in his backyard?
Oh yeah, full court lights.
Got a full court basketball court in his backyard.
Lights, lockers, benches.
No way. That is awesome. That is awesome.
And he's still driving the blue convertible.
So cool.
Isn't it something?
Yeah.
I just smile every time I see him.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So, you did say you played in the Final Four for basketball, and then in the state finals for what was like the school? I just can only remember what it was like when Anderson went to the finals for football and how crazy this town was. I remember how crazy it was just being on the other side at Anderson. Was the school just going like the buzz and just everything going crazy?
It was, and especially like, after we got crushed as juniors, Jerry goes into the press conference, and they're asking him, Coach, what are you thinking about right now? And he says, I'm really not thinking about much, but I can guarantee you one thing, I'll be sitting in this chair again next year.
Did he say that?
He literally guaranteed we'd be back.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah, after we had just gotten crushed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you walk out and you're like, oh, good. Thanks, Coach. Thanks for putting a little pressure on.
No pressure.
Us. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, though.
So, yeah, we knew we were going to be good.
Yeah.
But, when your coach has that much confidence in you that he guarantees that we'll be back.
Just the athletes you guys had was unbelievable.
It's just incredible.
Think about this. So fall of '84, our soccer program, it was either the first year or second year in existence.
Yeah.
It might have been the first year.
Yeah.
They won the state that year.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
So they win the state in the fall. We get beat in the state finals in football in the fall.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
You know, and then we get beat in the semis
Just
again
rolling.
in basketball in the winter.
Rolling down there.
Yeah, I mean, we just. I was so fortunate to play with good teammates. I was fortunate. I got inducted into the Hall of Fame a couple months ago, and
that's awesome.
Well deserved.
I said in my speech, and I truly, truly mean it. There are many guys in that Hall of Fame that would have gotten there on their own accord, their own athletic abilities. I was not one of them. I needed each and every one of my teammates, and I had some really good teammates.
I think you're cutting yourself short.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Yourself short.
I had some really good teammates. Well, you did.
I mean, you did have some great teammates, but you're cutting yourself short. I mean,
I'm number 10 from my class to be inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Is that right?
From my class.
You're kidding me.
Incredible.
Wow.
No other class has more than like 3 or 4.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
We've got 10.
That's incredible.
Jimmy Williams, Flanagan, Kiesling, Massa.
You.
Myself, Chuck Kaiser. Chuck was a really good track star. He got killed in Iraq or Afghanistan, I'm not sure.
God
Lord.
dang.
I'm so bad right now. Forgetting who else is in. I'm going up and down. Ramey, Miller.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Amy Sweeney. Amy Rice back
sure.
there.
Yeah, she was, heck of an
I'm trying to think of who the 10th was. But,
God, that says something right there. I mean, that's incredible. And it showed on the field with you guys. I mean, everything that you guys did. But, you briefly talked about the Anderson-Turpin games. I know for us, it didn't matter what our record was. And those were like the most intense. I mean, Steve and I have told these stories before, the Anderson-McNick games or Anderson-Turpin games. I didn't play much. He did, and I would go in there and I'd just take chairs and throw them. So what was it like for you, like with those games being like you knew everybody basically?
Yeah, exactly. And just growing up like in the early '80s when Turpin was really good in basketball and Anderson was really good in basketball.
Yep.
And the Rockets were always good.
Yeah.
Sure.
So those
battles,
80, 81, 82.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Battles.
He had Lyrics against Brandy.
Exactly, and you got Joe Dayton.
Yeah.
And it's just unbelievable.
Yeah. And the Wiesenhans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He transferred from Turpin to McNick.
Which heightened it even more.
Exactly. It's just unbelievable. Now, having said that, when I was fortunate enough to coach over at Turpin, my first Anderson-Turpin game, I was like blown away.
Oh, it's nuts.
Were you?
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, because not that there's any much difference, but I guess because it's inter-district. But I mean, which game was more intense or more fun for you, playing against Turpin or Anderson?
Probably back in the day playing against Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mike Benassi grew up down the street. So Mike and I always pretty much guarded each other.
Yeah. And it was always the opening game right around Thanksgiving weekend.
Played Glen Estee first, and then they played us. I think.
Yeah. Those were so cool.
They were just awesome.
Yeah. But I do remember, I think I saw it on Facebook recently, of a game somebody put on of you hitting a couple big free throws against Purcell in a packed gym.
Oh.
Give this story.
This was, and it's probably no exaggeration, it's easily one of the top 5 games in Cincinnati. We were number 1 in the city. Purcell was number 2 in the city. This is back when just one pole.
Right.
Didn't matter if you were single A, double A, triple A, whatever.
Okay.
One pole. It was just after like Christmas break. It was probably, 6, 7, 8 degrees out first week of January.
Yep.
And they just packed Purcell's gym.
Yeah.
If you guys have been to Purcell.
Oh yeah.
So they've got this about as wide as this room under each basket.
Yep.
10 deep in each end zone.
Oh yeah.
Packed.
Hot.
Fire marshal had to stop letting people in.
Oh God.
Wow.
The floor begins to sweat because it is so cold outside and so hot inside.
Right.
Yeah, and just an unbelievable atmosphere. Well, they ended up winning the state title that year.
Yep.
Triple A.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Was that with David Miner?
David Miner, Ricky Hassel, Tommy O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Lee May.
Jeez, Pete.
Oh, good Lord. Who else am I'm missing somebody.
David Miner.
Monty Mathis.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, and then we were so good.
But you hit some big free throws.
Yeah, I did. I played well that night. We ended up winning by like 16 at their place.
Okay.
Now it was much closer than that.
Yeah.
I got fouled a lot at the end and just made a bunch of free kicks.
I did see that.
Yeah.
So did you guys have to have like a police escort out of there? Or?
It was just a cool atmosphere.
Yeah.
Such a cool atmosphere.
Wow.
It was Jimmy Stahl's first year as head coach.
Young guy.
And then they go on to win the state title.
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then we blow the game, in our semifinal game that same year.
Oh, jeez.
It's so sad that we beat the big school state champion and we couldn't beat the middle school state champion. Yeah. We played Columbus, Linden, McKinley that year.
Okay.
And played really well for 3.5 quarters. We're up like 8-10, midway through the fourth quarter, and just collapsed.
Is that right?
A couple turnovers, missed free throws. And it was everybody. We just collapsed.
Just one of those things.
Wow.
Yeah, and then
what it meant to be.
cut a couple bad calls, which can happen any game.
Yeah.
And then back then, you couldn't call back-to-back timeouts. We called a timeout. Coming out of the timeout, we couldn't get the ball in out of bounds. Tried to call another timeout.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
So we lose 2 points. The ball, it just
So anything that could go wrong went wrong.
exactly
Yeah.
the last 3.5, 4 minutes of the game.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez. So you went into the Hall of Fame, which is unbelievably great. Playing basketball and football.
Correct, yeah.
Right. So I know where you went on to play in college, but tell us about the recruiting process and where you ended up.
So I ended up playing football in college at Wilmington. Kurt and I went up there. Kurt Keesing and myself went up there.
Okay.
I came really close to going down to Butler. I made a visit down there and came real close to going down there to play, but
To play.
football.
Okay.
Oh, really?
All right.
But kind of Wilmington had a great program back then. It's unfortunately gone down
Right.
since.
Right.
Once Mount St. Joe and Thomas
More
got their football programs, all the
Yep,
smaller Cincinnati guys stopped going up there.
Right.
So their football program has kind of gone downhill since then. Matter of fact, I just went up there a couple weeks ago. Kurt and I went up to honor our coach passed away. Not this past February, but the previous February, and they finally had a memorial service.
That's good.
He was, a longtime coach up there. They got beat in the national finals in like 82 or 83.
At Wilmington?
That's cool.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
But didn't he go on to coach somewhere else, though?
he went down and actually started a program down in Virginia, like University of Virginia at Wise. It's the feeder school of the UVA.
Okay.
Started a program up down there, and had a very successful run down there.
Wow.
He was actually on Dan Devine's staff.
Really?
At Missouri, back in the late '60s.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was a really good football coach, really, and just a great dude on top of it.
Yeah.
Wow. So you move on, you get out of college, and you're right back where you belong at McNick, and you start coaching, and then you end up being taken over for Coach Dergs as the head coach. Tell us how all that happened and how awesome that was for you to be coaching at your alma mater.
A lot transpired there, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I just talked about Jeff Smith earlier. Jeff got sick. Jeff was playing baseball over at NKU, got cancer, and he was coaching the freshman team at McNick. So when I graduated in '89 from Wilmington, Jerry asked me over the summer if I would, if I'd want to be a JV coach that year.
Okay. Had you thought about it?
No.
Okay.
Not a bit.
Okay.
Not a bit. My major is criminal justice, and I got a minor in English.
Okay. That equals basketball coach.
Yes, exactly. So just because Jerry asked me, I started coaching 1989. Was the assistant JV coach for a year. Danny O'Connell he was the JV coach. He became the head coach out of Harrison. Mm-hmm. So then I became the JV coach. And then actually got out of coaching for 1 year, I believe. It was just getting harder and harder. I wasn't teaching at the time.
Okay.
It was getting harder and harder to make the practices and just to make it work. So got out for a year, missed it.
Okay.
Got right back in.
Okay.
Let's see, and then if we'd have won it in '99, that's when we had Ryan Caldwell, Cooperton, Ryan Ogletree, Jimmy Moore. I mean, we were so good.
Yeah.
If we'd have won it that year, I'd have probably gotten out but we got beaten like double overtime to Alter in the regional semis or something like that.
Okay.
Still had the desire. I wanted to get that ring.
Yeah. Sure.
So I kept at it, and then I guess after 2001, Jerry got suspended for a year. We played Dayton Christian and didn't catch many breaks by some goaltending calls by Romain Sato.
That's exactly right. The infamous name.
Yeah, so I subbed for Jerry for a year, and my very first game, subbing for Coach, I was faced playing the number 1 team in the state, Winton Woods at the time.
With the 4 D1 guys? DeForest Riley, Robert Height.
Yeah, those guys.
Anderson.
Yes.
CJ Anderson.
Yeah.
So we're down at the Cintas Center in that that regular season first tournament game.
Okay.
Of the regular season.
Yeah.
Down at Cintas Center. I can't remember what it was called, the tournament. But we got beat by like 2, possibly a point. Paul Sheehy missed a little floater in the lane with like 8 seconds to go.
No, man.
Yeah. Such a cool game, cool atmosphere.
Yeah.
Great way to start out my career.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so I subbed for Jerry for that year as an interim coach, and then he came back for 2 more years, and then took over for him. I guess in about 2002, 2003.
All right. So 2002. How long were you the head coach?
I think I'm going to guess about 7 years, 8 years maybe.
It seems like more. Seems like you're head coach longer.
Yeah, no, I think it was about 7 or 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then took 2 years off, and then went over to Turpin for 3 years.
How about that?
That's crazy.
Which is a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Of how you got there. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go on to that. So you have a former player that played for you and became the Turpin coach. So how did that all happen? Because I tried to get you to come with me, and you're like, no, I'm done coaching. And then all of a sudden he's on Turpin's sideline. I'm like, wait a minute.
So Brad Cupido, who graduated in '89, he was on that 99.
Yeah.
Real good team. Matter of fact, Brad shares a distinction with Kyle Rudolph. Brad and Kyle Rudolph are the only 2 people, and I don't know if it's still true or not, but they were the only 2 people to win Player of the Year in both basketball and football.
Oh, wow.
In the GCL in the same year.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Really?
That's crazy.
Yep.
Think about that for a second.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And like I said, I don't know if it's still true or not, but
it's got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
almost
because I'm sitting there thinking about like all the other players that have gone through, and it's got to be.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible.
That's a huge feat. That's
the only other one I can think of would be what was his name that played at UC?
Bobby Brannon.
Bobby Brannon. He played football.
Did he play football?
Yeah, he played football.
I mean, but I don't know if he played senior year, but I know he played football.
Yeah, but that's a great stat right there.
Wow.
Think of all the people that have gone through in the GCL.
I know, that's crazy.
Yeah, you're one of,
and you're with an NFL guy too.
So you're at Turpin.
So and then Brad the following year, would literally like a week before the season started, he got transferred. He wasn't in education, wasn't teaching at Turpin at the time.
Yeah.
He was in the business world and transferred. And he calls me up and says, "Guess what?"
Yeah.
He says, "I'm getting transferred." He says, "Do you want the job?"
Can you take over?
Yes, exactly.
They keep sucking you in.
Yeah, exactly. Interviewed with with the Turpin administration for about 39 seconds.
Yes, that's a no-brainer.
Basically, Patty Johnson asked me if I was in. I said I'm all in.
And he had the best player in the league with Zach McCormick.
Yeah, made it much more tolerable.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, talk about, like you were just saying about you didn't understand until you coached at Turpin when you played Anderson. So talk like about that, what that was like. That because the intensity, I'm not going to lie, it was always big with McNick too. But there was just something about Turpin for us. Just because we, I don't know, it was just something different.
No, there's no doubt. And I can't remember ever going to an Anderson Turpin game growing up.
Okay.
Because I was probably always playing.
You were always doing something right, sure.
So I can't remember ever going to one growing up. And then when we played them the first night, obviously we were pretty good. I was so fortunate over at Turpin. Had some really nice players. What just Zach? I mean, my first year there, Adam Boyer, Mitch Stevens,
Connor
Groton. We had some really good players over there. But when you walk into the gym and it's just electric.
Oh man!
Because, like you said, it's this inter-district thing.
Yeah.
You know, you guys all went to grade school eventually together and then branched off. And
right.
Just the atmosphere was just electric, and I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
You know, I was expecting it to be intense.
Right. Sure.
It's in a different.
I mean,
level.
it's from start to end. I mean, it's you know, I mean, Pat, the cool thing for us is that our locker room was like right basically underneath the gym. So we're in there getting ready, and you can just hear everybody in the band, and you're just like, holy crap, let's go.
Yeah,
you know,
let's go.
It's pretty awesome.
It was kind of cool too. It was, I guess, my second one over at Turpin when we played at Anderson. Is when Zach made the
dunk.
On ESPN.
Dunk,
That's right. Yeah.
Pretty cool story about that. It was actually one of my college teammates' wife who sent it in, and she was an Anderson parent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who is it?
So do you know Mike White?
Yeah, you know Mrs. White.
Denise. Yeah.
So it was Denise who actually sent it in.
I knew that.
No, that's right.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was kind of a cool story.
Yeah, Denise, they're good people.
Oh,
And
Mike
how
and
about
Denise are awesome.
And Blake's coaching at Turpin now.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Really?
Assistant varsity coach, or is he JV coach?
No, he's assistant varsity.
Yeah. So he's
Really?
coaching over there.
Yeah, how about that?
So you wouldn't recognize Mike now, but man, he was an unbelievable tight end in college.
Is that right?
No, I heard. Yeah, I heard he was.
Such a good player.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Denise, the White family is incredible.
Salt of the earth. Absolutely.
Just incredible family.
Great family.
So you coached there 3 years and
coached there 3 years, and then my wife actually was in the early stages of getting sick, and then she passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So ended up just kind of the fire kind of went out a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I just turned down an assistant job yesterday.
Did you really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
It's probably getting easier to say no the further you get away.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But for a second there's a little like, well, maybe.
Yeah, there is.
Maybe.
And we were talking earlier, it's so much time now.
Yeah.
It's so different, and it's unfortunate that it kind of has evolved to that. I mean, I used to love having two sport athletes, or
absolutely
3 sport athletes,
Yep.
but 2
Can't
sport
do it anymore.
athletes for sure. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you used to love to get those football players that were tough.
Yep.
Bring a little toughness, a little edge to your
That's
team.
exactly right.
And then it's just unfortunate that it's kind of evolved into trying to specialize now.
Yeah.
Well, Pat, I'll tell you what. Since you don't want to do the coaching anymore, if I need a guest, I do the play-by-play for Mr. Ellis here, so you can come on and guest with me, and you can just rip him all you want.
Oh, I wouldn't have called that.
You can just rip him all you want.
He should go zone. That'll never come out of Pat's mouth.
Exactly. So there's a couple of things that I'll tell you that he does. I'll warn you when I know when it's coming. I can tell when he's getting ready to do something. So we'll get you on to guess and let him yell at you a couple of times.
I appreciate that, Danny. It's awesome. So tell us more about your family. I mean, sorry about your wife, but your brother, Mike.
So Mike's a year older. Yeah, Mike graduated in '84. He played for he played for 2 schools in college. He went down to Franklin first. He went down there with Steve Rice. I don't know if you know his
name.
Amy's older brother, actually.
Oh yeah.
Steve played football down at Franklin. We used to send a tribe of people down to Franklin every year.
Okay.
They had a great football program. So that's like after their sophomore year, actually during the exams of their sophomore year, their dorm burnt down.
Oh, wow.
Literally burnt to the ground.
Really?
Yeah. They were like, the story is, I don't know if it's actually true or not, but somebody was off studying for finals, and they had electric or halogen lamp or whatever blew over onto the bed and started it, but literally the dorm burnt to the ground.
That's a sign.
Yeah, so he ended up not going back his junior year, and then went up to Wilmington and played his final 2 years.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Mike graduated in '84. Matter of fact, I told this at my induction speech a couple weeks ago that I believe it's 44 and it might be 54. I can't remember, but there's either 44 or 54 members of my family who have graduated from McNick.
What?
Really?
Is that right?
Yeah. Between my aunts, uncles, cousins, there's 54. So McNicholas High School opened up in 1951.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we've had somebody at the school every day since it's been open.
Wow. That is nuts.
As either a student or a faculty member.
That
is
nuts.
nuts.
East Wing should be named after you guys
That's right.
or something.
So my one aunt was in the very first class of McNick High School,
Okay.
1951. My grandpa actually was the custodian there, started in like 1948.
Okay.
He was a custodian until he passed away in like 72.
Yeah.
My grandma was the lady who ran the cafeteria.
Wow. How about that?
Yeah, my dad taught there for like 25 years.
Yeah.
And this is all my mom's side of the family I'm talking about.
Okay.
All of the
That's
people
crazy.
I was talking about.
Yeah.
My mom was like 1958 homecoming queen or something like that. Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Talk about a legendary name for the
telling you
school.
Oh, it's been really cool.
So tell us, we haven't asked any of the McNick people this. Tell us about the tradition, I'm assuming. I don't know if it's after football games or basketball games of going behind the school.
Sure.
Explain all that.
Yeah, so it's after football games.
Okay.
Back when the nuns used to live in the convent there.
Okay.
Behind the gym.
Yep.
The convent, no none live there anymore.
Okay.
And I don't know how long that's been, but
Yeah.
have kept the tradition alive of after every football game, you go on the steps and you count the score to the nuns because, usually they couldn't make it to an away game or
Okay.
back in the day when we all played at Anderson.
Right.
Yeah, right. All the games there. Yeah.
So you went back and you told the nuns what the score was. You counted the score off on the steps.
Would
to
they
wake the nuns
would
up.
they like open the windows or what would they
Yeah,
do?
they turned the lights on and or possibly cheer.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
It was pretty cool tradition. They
That
still
is
do
a
it.
really cool.
They still do that?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yep.
That is really cool. I'll tell you what, the facilities there at McNick now are just, the football field is incredible.
Second to none, and
Yeah.
they're actually redoing the field turf right now.
Is that right?
It's so.
It's
cool.
already time?
Yeah, it's been. It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
I think
It's been like 10 years.
Well, yeah, that's about right.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So it's really, really neat. It's like the LSU field, where every 5 yards it changes
a
color.
different color.
Different color?
Yeah, it's
Really?
2 shades of green.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then the end zones are black.
It's incredible.
That's cool.
How cool is that?
Well,
That's a really cool stadium.
It is. The press box. And I'll tell you what, so I've been over there a couple times for an Anderson game here recently, and just great facilities, and they treat you great over there and just put us in a spot where we're, it's not that all schools are like, but some schools, they make it a little difficult when you try to bring a crew and you do it.
Sure.
McNick was so accommodating, and it was just great.
We're very fortunate in the fact that we're not landlocked like a lot of schools.
Right, yeah.
Neither's Anderson's.
Right.
But so many schools are landlocked.
Sure.
They can't do anything.
Right.
Well, we were so fortunate. We got so
Like a Moeller. I mean,
exactly.
Moeller, yeah.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had to go elsewhere to build their complex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you doing now?
I still teach at McNick. I'm in the
Okay.
social studies department. I've been there. This is my 23rd year.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I still teach sophomores and seniors American history and world history.
Attaboy.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's great.
Getting ready, real fortunate, getting ready to leave this Friday, matter of fact, to go taking 35 kids over to Europe for a little 13-day trip.
Are you
Really?
really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
That's
So
cool.
we're going to go to Paris for like 3 days. We get to go to going to Barcelona, going to Madrid, now we're going to Portugal. It should be
That is really neat.
pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, you're not coaching me anymore. That's some cool things you're doing there.
Once you get out, you realize there's an outside world.
Well, what people have said all the time, like my buddy Brian Sullivan, who was a soccer coach at Anderson
Sure.
forever, and after he got out, he thought on game nights, Beachfront Avenue shut down. It came to the soccer games. He didn't know there's life out
Yeah,
there.
that the bars remained open.
Yeah.
You could go out to eat, yeah.
I think the only thing I could take that to is back in our softball playing days. It's like I thought everything revolved around softball, and then
Oh, yeah.
there's other things to do besides playing softball every
Right,
weekend.
right.
It's like
that came first.
it definitely was.
Did you ever play softball?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You played in that wasn't it the God, what league was that at Nagel?
Yeah, we played
You
at
played in that
Nagel.
because I think we played against you
Oh,
guys.
yes.
Yeah.
Remember we
All
played
the
when we-
boys.
yeah,
we went
because
down to either Riverstar or elsewhere. Do you
Yep.
remember the
Expressway.
the old ballroom on Beachmont?
Township-
right above the Township Tavern.
Township Tavern?
But the one on
a beach
it's the Pelican Reef right now, Zox. Do you remember Zoc?
No.
Upstairs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they sponsored us.
Oh, is that
Really?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What, didn't like a weatherman own that place at one time?
Yeah, the chart room.
Something Allen.
It was a chart room.
Oh yeah, it was something Allen. I can't remember. What
Yeah, I forget what his first name was, but his last name.
Yeah, that was my wife's hangout. She loved that place.
Is that right?
Yeah, she said it was there all the time. It's like a regular. She was like Norm on Cheers when she went in there.
No wonder she didn't meet until later.
That's exactly right.
Because she wasn't at the softball fields.
That's right. She didn't get to see. She would have liked me back then. She would have liked me back then. So you did talk about that you guys get together for Coach Durger and all that stuff. But do you still keep in touch with a lot of your guys in high school besides that? Or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Obviously we don't get to see each other a whole lot in person, but we have a text chain just like everybody does, and it's literally like we're 17 or 18.
That's exactly how we are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we absolutely do that. We're going to all try to get together here in about the middle of June to kind of celebrate. Gordy Massa had been fighting.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Been fighting for a while.
Yep.
He's finally got a clean bill
Good.
of
That's
health.
what we heard.
That's awesome.
That was great to hear.
One of the toughest guys I've ever played with.
Yeah.
He was he's a mean SOB, I can tell you that.
It doesn't surprise me that he was able to come out ahead for a little while.
Right. Yeah.
And salt of the earth. You talk about the Whites being salt of the earth. The Massa family is.
Yep, no doubt.
And Gordy's just phenomenal. He's such a good dude.
He is. Yeah, a lot of good dudes.
Yeah.
So let's try to wrap this up, but we always try to wrap it up by doing some memories. And so you've mentioned some really, really good ones, but give me maybe one of your favorite high school memories.
Favorite high school memories.
Can even be dances or
Prom.
Yeah, no, it's literally probably like just being in their locker room with the guys after the games.
It's perfect.
Yeah, just being in the locker room and knowing that you guys just left it all out there.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I've said it earlier. We were just so fortunate that had such good teammates, and the best part about it was just us.
Yeah.
We didn't have somebody move in that made us good.
Right.
Or put us over the top.
Sure.
It was just a bunch of dudes who lived within about a 10-mile radius.
Right.
From either
Grew
GA,
up together.
IHM,
Right.
San Veronica, Thomas More, whatever.
Yeah.
10, 15-mile radius.
Yep.
Who loved to compete. And
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's I guess.
That's awesome. What about college? Any college ones?
Let's see. College ones, again, it's a little different, but your teammates.
Yeah.
You're traveling with them on the road. You leave, I was fortunate we were an independent when I was up at Wilmington, so we played all over. We played up in Canada one time.
Oh my
Canadian
gosh.
rules football is messed up, boys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That had to be something different.
So you're on the bus a lot. We played down in Virginia, Michigan, wherever. You'd leave on Thursday morning.
Yeah.
So you're with these guys an awful lot. And,
Yeah.
My two best friends still are my two roommates from college. So
That's cool.
yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So just the atmosphere of being with your guys.
So if you had to name a favorite teacher, coach, I'm sure you've already named a couple of them, but were we pretty close?
Yeah, favorite teacher would probably be Steve Haygood. I don't know if you know the Haygood family at all. Yeah.
There were some Haygoods that went to Anderson.
Yeah.
Nah, they would have gone to X.
Okay.
Steve played. Matter of fact, he played for Jerry over at Moeller.
Oh,
Basketball for Jerry over
in the
at
early
Moeller.
70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Late 60s, early 70s. Yeah. And then coached football up until about 1984, and then got out of teaching and began to. He had a family that he had to begin to support a little better.
Sure.
But I think I patterned my teaching after him a lot.
Really? That's cool.
Really good history teacher.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I could honestly sit here and probably talk for another 2 hours, probably just throwing out some more stories of the good old
trivia,
good old days.
Well,
and
it's funny how you can remember a lot of the stories, but a lot of the stories get embellished too. So.
There's no doubt about it.
I think our wives know that too.
Yeah,
I've heard this story 100 times.
Yeah, because we do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
But we really appreciate taking the time. I know
absolutely.
you're very busy and you got a
Good
lot
to see you,
going on.
Pat.
So awesome seeing you. So we really appreciate it.
No worries. I appreciate you guys having me on.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. So for Steve Ellis, Dan Evers, and Pat Stricker, you've been listening to This Week in Anderson. We'll catch you next week.